If you go back to 2013, the SFC introduced something which is actually quite similar for IPO sponsors, and that is it wasn't sufficient just to have a Type 6 license. You actually needed to also be able to engage in sponsor work. It's just like IPO sponsor work. It's a very specialized task. If you're advising on a matter which is subject to the Takeovers Code or the Share Buy-backs Code, you need to be up to speed in order to be able to give competent advice to the client. The Takeovers Code, or the TC Advisor as we now call it, is part of the gateway mechanism for the integrity of the Hong Kong marketplace. If you have offerors and offeree companies who are receiving less than the best advice as to what the laws are, as to what the regulations are here, then that's going to have a knock-on effect onto the integrity of the Hong Kong market. So what the SFC is really trying to do, very much is the same, similar with the IPO sponsor, as with the takeovers, they're trying to set standards to ensure that Hong Kong continues to prosper as an international financial market. We've produced a Paper 17 manual which basically takes the Takeovers Code and reassembles it into a sequence of topics which is gathering together relevant information. So, for example, there's a particular topic there which is just dedicated to, you're a financial advisor, what is it that you need to know, what is it that you need to do? There's another topic which is just talking about offerors and offeree companies, and it's just looking at the issues that if you were an offeror or offeree company, what is it that you need to do and when? These kinds of things are actually scattered through the Takeovers Code, and so it's been one of the endeavors to try to collect things together into these more, let's say, comprehensive units of information that will assist people to understand the Takeovers Code better. Of course, not just the Takeovers Code, the Share Buy-backs Code as well, and the very important front parts of the code, the introduction, the general principles, the definitions. These are important parts which need to be put in appropriate perspective. We talk a little bit about some of the learnings from cases before the panel, the Takeovers panel. We take some learnings from Takeovers Bulletin. So the SFC publishes a very handy document on a quarterly basis, and they've been doing that for not quite sure when the first one, doesn't spring to mind now, but they've been doing it for a couple of decades, and that actually provides really useful resources that practitioners, if they're not doing it already, they should be reading that Takeovers Bulletin every time it comes out to keep up to date.